today?
Hi, John. I'm good. I mean, it's sunny here, so I'm really good. I
Nah.
just came from Canada. It's really cold out there.
Oh, okay. Now here it started. It was like it looked like it was going to rain, and then a lot of like dark clouds started popping out. Then it rained, and then my house turned to a very cold freezer because we had our
Oh no.
AC on the living room. And then out of the blue, now we have a little bit of sun, so humidity is horrible.
Oh my God.
So
You've got
it's
it all. You've got it
yes,
all down there.
yeah. So it's in between into hot and cold. So it
You
happens a
got a
lot here.
sweatshirt, a hat.
Oh yeah, but the thing is that this is like my how do you call this? My uniform. I always
Oh,
have a
okay.
different hoodie. I used to have a different hat. Is the Puerto Rican flag, but
Oh,
instead of
cool.
like the original colors is in black and white.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, but
Very
that
cool.
hat passed away.
Oh,
Sadly,
so
this one has survived.
well, it's nice to meet you.
Same here, Stacy. So now we're going to be talking about the documentary. Uh 1 second. I had the title right here. Tough, tough old broads. I hope I
Yes.
said it correctly.
Yes, you did.
Okay,
Perfect.
at first, this funny question. No, not question, funny story. So I saw the email and I was watching the film, and then uh, I was like, wait, is this? I didn't read the like the
Oh, the
information
write-up.
of the
Yeah.
film. So I was
Yeah.
like, I always like get in. I just want to see, I always get into the film and see, just enjoy it without knowing anything. So when I read the title, I was like, tough old boards. What is this film about? Is this about like old woods or I don't know? So then when the movie starts and I read the title again, I'm like, oh, tough old broads. Oh, got it.
It's your dyslexia is messing with you, I guess.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I really do. I loved this documentary. I think that one of my key things that I say like to colleagues from here in Puerto Rico, other reviewers, is that they should be more documentaries like this to show people that probably are in the spotlight, but we don't know them or we don't see them because they don't get the spotlight that they deserve. And seeing these three stories come through fruition is just amazing. Female empowerment is there. The actual facts of like situations that happen is there. And my initial question would be for you is, how long did it take to get all this footage together? Because you don't only have footage from present, you have footage from the past plus pictures, plus you connected each of their stories in a way that are like that have a like I had the word right there, but it has like a significant, that's the word, a significant moment in the present for all of us. How long
Mm.
did it take to get everything, all of that together?
It took a long time. It took me 3 years just to find the right woman. Part of it, I was looking for the ladies during COVID, and that was a hard time. So I started in 2019. And COVID kind of slowed things down a lot. I started shooting a little bit in 2022 as things were getting better, and then started seriously shooting in 2023, over 2024. And then my last day of shooting was the day before the inauguration, 2025. So January 2025 was my last day. So quite a bit of shooting, and then getting all together, all the archives. It took me about a year to get the editing kind of done and all of the archives figured out, and all those photos and things that I got from all these big historic events. So yeah, it was 6 years total before I'm having my world premiere. So yeah, it's not easy.
And how does it feel that you're so close to your world premiere?
I actually had my world premiere. It was amazing. It was really great. I mean, Santa Barbara International Film Festival is just incredible. I've never been to Santa Barbara before. It seems to be a real film lovers festival. They have great programming, so I'm pretty excited to go see other people's films too. But it was amazing. Like to see your film with an audience, see where they laugh, what the reaction is, and people really like it's really people have received it so warmly and are really excited about the film. And another nice thing is that I actually had Catherine Switzer and Sharon Farmer, two of the ladies from the film. They came to be at the premiere, and I hadn't seen them in over a year, so it was just really, really nice. We all stayed in a house together. It was good. It was really good.
And were there any challenges throughout the filming process? I you mentioned COVID was one of like the biggest like challenges. I think that that was like the I think that was the general consensus of like challenges to most filmmakers.
Yeah.
But what other challenges that you have while filming?
Um, It was a long time. Like the filming was sort of stretched out over a long period of time. Sela had a lot of health problems. The Inuit woman I was following, she had a lot of quite serious health problems. So I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to even film with her at a certain point. She was really ill. And so she finally got better. So that was kind of all delayed. We shot with her in the Arctic, so that's never easy going up to the Arctic. They have limited number of planes flying in and out. So I ended up having to stay with my crew for like a week for like, 2-day filming. So we had like, just because of the plane schedules, it was cold up there. So, -40 kind of on a snowmobile is not a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, it was challenging. And then Sharon, she's absolutely fantastic. I mean, she's amazing, Sharon Farmer. She's a great photographer, worked at the White House. I was traveling to DC a lot, which was really nice. It's a cool town, loved it. But she's an artist, right? So like dates were not so good. Like, she sort of, it was hard to pin her down because she's like a wild woman. Um, so there were like little challenges like that. But I mean, it was great because I really spent a lot of time with the ladies and became friends. I'm like, I can't believe I can call these like amazing women my friends. Like it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, I gotta say, Sharon was one of the stories that what I was like fully like paying attention. I love I don't I used to do it. I love photography. But just that there's this one part of the documentary that she's like in a storage unit and she's like, this is just one of
Yeah,
two.
I know.
I was like,
I know.
I was like, whoa. And she had
She's she
whoa.
needs help. Yeah, she needs help organizing herself. And you know what? I thought that's actually my favorite scene in the film. I love
Okay.
that storage locker scene. But the thing is like everybody can identify. Like your
Yeah.
parents probably have like a bunch of boxes in their house. Like every single person can identify with that. Like what are you going to do with all your stuff? It's just and her stuff has the added terrible thing about being really historically significant on top of it, right? It's
Yeah.
like she needs to do something.
That I gotta say, like all of these stories in this film were amazing. I learned about Catherine being like the first one that was like that took the challenge on doing all male running events, and I was like, wow, I did not know that this story, and that's why I say like people don't understand that there are certain people out there that we don't know that have done big things and they should be as well part of like the history books, right? um and seeing films like this one makes me happy because you get to learn a lot. And especially when you see Sharon, there's a part of like her story that is when the election day was coming in, and I don't know if it was her or it was the TV that they mentioned like um I was hoping that Kamala would have been the first female president to show my like that my daughter could be like be more safer, but in
Mm.
this case I can't. And then you see Sharon being like throughout that scene moving forward, you see Sharon how I'm not gonna say broken, but how let down she felt because of the results, right? And just seeing that, and that was election day, and we're still feeling that way now. A lot of disconnection with people, Americans, and whatnot. Um, Stacy, do you think that more filmmakers should look for these stories and put them out there? I know it's a challenge because these are independent films, but what are your thoughts that on filmmakers trying to find these stories and bringing them out there to the world?
Yeah, well, I think learning is like people forget their history, and young people might not know that there was a time where women didn't run marathons and they weren't allowed to, and when they tried to run a marathon, they got physically accosted, right? Like you don't think about it now, but like if you know that history, you kind of can see how far we've come, right? Because now there's
Yeah.
women's marathons everywhere. And to see that it is possible, like we're in a particularly dark time, but there's been dark times before.
Yes.
And so if you know kind of what came in the past, it helps you to be able to get through to the next step. So I kind of made this film to like have those older women show like they've been at it for 30, 40s, 50. Catherine's been, an advocate for women in sport for 60 years.
Mhm.
And it's like if you keep at it, yes, like the progress isn't in a straight line. Like progress, you might go forward, but then you go back, and then but eventually you're going to get there, And I think the big message of the film is about persistence and about showing up and about speaking out. And the biggest danger is not speaking out. And I find like, that's happening a lot. People are afraid to say something, and that's really like the death of democracy is in silence. So now more than ever, I think it's really, really important that people are speaking out, and filmmakers can definitely be a part of that.
I was When I finished watching Twofold Broads, a question came into my mind, and I was thinking to myself, and I was like, what if? What if we got some old films that were popular back in the 90s, 80s, and 2000s? Two came to my mind. And I was like, what if we made two films once again? We remade them, like Lean on Me or Freedom Riders. And then I was like, but in these times, would youth accept these films? Back in the day, these films were phenomenal, but there was always a backlash in the other end, right? But what are your thoughts in regards to bringing these old films, remaking them, or giving a highlight to these documentaries and showing people once again, like this one or other documentaries or other films like Lean on Me and Freedom Riders and other ones. Because I know there's more. Um, Bring them back and show these generations how it was back in the day. What are your thoughts in regards to this?
Well, I am biased towards documentaries, of course,
Okay.
because that's what I do. And there's so many stories out there of so many people doing heroic things, and really making a difference, and stories about our history and how far we've come. I mean, now they're trying not to teach that history in schools. So maybe it is like filmmakers who have to I mean, if they're not teaching it in schools, somebody's got to tell those stories. So yeah, I think that storytelling is like primal to human beings, right? Like we've been
Yeah.
telling stories for years and years. And if you can tell a good story, there won't be a backlash because people just want to listen to a good story or they want to meet an interesting person. So in the case of this film, I have three super interesting ladies, right?
Yeah.
So it makes the medicine go down a little bit. It's a fun film to watch. They're funny ladies. It's a positive, uplifting message. So, you get a little bit of history in there too. And maybe it makes people curious, makes people think about things differently. So that's the role of documentary film for sure.
And I don't know if you have been on top of this film and the situations behind it. So I'm not the whole point of like it's not to talk about that film, but the fact that how impactful has been for you, the independent filmmaker, right? So right now there is a film that is right now in theaters called The Iron Lung. It's fully independently funded by somebody that's well renowned in the YouTube space. What are your thoughts in regards to you as an independent filmmaker that you as well have a chance to maybe in the future bring um either Tough Old Broads or a future project that you can do everything yourself. You don't need the backup of a big company or any, I gotta say, a sketchy contract. What are your thoughts that you now have an open door thanks that somebody took a risk and now you can make it to theaters without any type of like backup from any big company, being an independent filmmaker?
Yeah, I think the whole system is changing. I mean, we're in a really big time of change
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, right? Hopefully it's going to lean towards good change and positive outcomes. But I mean, there's a lot of change in the film industry as well, in terms of, traditional distribution not really working the way it used to. So people, I think, are finding really creative ways to get their stuff out there, like we can't rely on the old systems. I mean, even like I'm at a film festival now, and it's like, I'm trying to see as many films as I can because some of these you'll never see again, right? They're just going to end up nowhere. And this is a big festival. And it's like, so I think that YouTube and, other ways of getting your stuff out there, and especially if it's important stuff with like a positive message, like I think it's a time of change, and change also has opportunity, right? So people are maybe starting to figure out different ways to reach their audiences, and that there's not just one way to reach an audience. So I think that's what I tell people, like, when you're starting your film, you should be thinking about who your audience is and connecting with them. I mean, and social media is great for that. Like if you have a film about a subject, like who are the people who are going to be interested in that, right? So I think that that is like a filmmaker can really build their audience even before they've shot a frame of footage.
Mhm.
Uh, and also, I think, filming is becoming more democratic too. Like, I have a friend who's an old school cameraman. Like, he used to shoot on film. That's how old
Okay.
school he is. And he's teaching courses on how to do iPhone films, like full-on theatrical iPhone films. And this guy was like, a purist, and now he's doing beautiful, beautiful work on an iPhone. And we're going to be going around and teaching kids how to make documentaries, right? Just on using their iPhone and a couple little sound gadgets. And so, like there's a lot of opportunity out there.
No, it is like the fact that you can now film with your phone, let it be an iPhone or your
Or
Samsung
Android or whatever,
or
yeah.
whatever. There's already films that are successful that probably 90% of the film was filmed in an iPhone. So
Or 100%, I'm telling you.
exactly. So it's so
So, yeah.
so it's amazing. And um I wanted to ask, besides the scene of the storage unit, was there any other scene that was impactful for you?
There were a lot. I mean, these ladies are amazing. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that Sela, the climate activist and the Inuit, I mean, especially with everything going on in Greenland now, like I'm really hoping that people understand what the Inuit people have been through. And so I mean, we went back to her hometown with her, and there were a lot of really emotional scenes that we filmed with her. And I mean, it was amazing to film Catherine Switzer in the Olympics in Paris in 2024. That was pretty amazing. One of the most amazing shoots I've done in a long time. So yeah, I mean everything. It was fun making the film.
And Stacey, this would be my last question for you today. If you could describe Tough Old Broads with one word, what would it be?
Um, hmm, Perseverance.
Yep, I completely agree. I completely agree. Stacy, thank you very much for giving us the time to talk about Tough Old Broads. I hope that we get to sit down again, have an amazing conversation on any future projects or endeavors. And I hope everybody gets to love this film as much as I did and learn as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.